Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today, I hope I'm not the first person to tell you, it's not worth it. The coupon tag gives you a discount on stuff that doesn't matter, and when you skip, you're one round closer to the first boss, you're one round closer to the final boss. You have that much less time to stabilize and snowball and figure your stuff out. Every round you play, you get to see a new shop, you get to see 2 new cards instead of having to pay $5 for a reroll, and also you get to see new booster packs. It's not exactly the same as getting a free buffoon pack, but it does have some value to even just see the new cards. Anyway, you can get this seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go gold stake checkered deck. Alright, first boss debuffs my stuff. In the first round, we can play, could be a straight, I guess. Let's play spades or hearts, or it doesn't really matter. Probably doesn't matter. Let's play spades. Alright. Could be Arrowhead, could be Todd. Arrowhead is stronger, but it is a rental. Probably I take the weaker one because it's not a rental. I'll take Todd here, and then we can save our money. Go next. I guess the person who shared this seed, they said, okay, if you take this coupon tag, you get free booster packs. So you get to open both buffoon packs. On the checker deck, typically I suggest opening neither buffoon pack, at least in the first 3 or 4 rounds. Let's go next. So if the boss is going to debuff my cards, I could go for a hearts flush here. I could go for spades. I need at least 2 odds, I think, in order to get the one shot. So let's go for hearts here. And then I think this wins already with 2 hearts. Since we have Todd. Todd is a little bit more flexible than Arrowhead, I guess. Alright, now we got 10 bucks. Some people would like to take the paintbrush from the first shop here, or the first ante here. Paintbrush is meaningful on the checker deck, where every hand is a flush, right? If you draw 9 cards, it's not possible for you to draw 9 cards without having a flush. You have 4 of one and 5 of the other, or whatever it is. Flushes are not necessarily difficult to draw anyway, and even if you do draw a flush, it may not be the right flush for you. So maybe you draw a flush but it's not the odd cards for Todd, or later on we may end up playing a hand that's other than flushes, in which case the hand size doesn't matter as much. I think this is a luxury purchase. If you can afford it, you take it. I think right now I would rather just save the money and invest in, I don't know, some jokers that give me plus mult. So maybe if we don't find jokers in the next 2 or 3 shops, we may spend money on re-rolling rather than buying a voucher. I don't think I take abstract here as a rental. If it wasn't a rental, I would take eternal abstract, no problem. One of the benefits of playing on the checker deck, we can wait longer before making joker purchases. Let's go next. All right, I need 3 odds in order to win, so maybe we discard the hearts and then go for the spades. Or I guess there's a chance we get the straight flush with a jack. I don't know if we should do that. As far as my odds are concerned, yeah, we should go for spades. Let's go for spades. Sure, let's throw away the 2. Okay, I've got 2 odds here looking for another one. We did get the jack. We could have had the straight flush. Let's go one more time. And keep the spades or not. I guess I keep the spades. Okay, 3 odds and then we win. There we go. Alright, now 20 bucks. If we had taken the first voucher, the hand size voucher, we wouldn't be able to take clearance sale, or at least not right away. There is an economy tag for 20 bucks. Is tempting. Bosses play only 1 hand. I think I want to take 20 bucks. If I skip, that means we don't get the buffoon pack. I think, let's see here, 1500 we could do with like 4 flushes, maybe. Let's go next. I'll take 20 bucks. All right, here, no odds, that's okay, or just 1 odd is okay. The spades with no odds, we should discard. I can play 3 odds on the flush. We don't have to play flushes. Okay, and then we have spades now. That's it. How about the ace high flush? Okay. So to beat this boss could be a boot. Do we want the clearance sale? The answer is probably. 2 Arcana packs. So let's go clearance sale first. I take the boot for sure. And then let's look for Hermie. No Hermie, but we can go Priestess here. Alright, those planet cards we don't need. And then here's Hermie for 20. Alright, so I just take the money instead of making a gold card, I think. Do I want to use these planet cards? Probably not. Sure, Hermie's fine. Alright, now looking for odds. I can play hearts with some odd cards. I can play 2 pair, 5s and 3s. Might actually be better than going for the flush. We could do aces and 5s. That works. Sure. Okay. Now what? Could be Cloud9. Could be a vampire. Vampire as a rental? Probably not. There's another economy tag. Probably we take it. Boss says hearts are debuffed. So Cloud9, yes. We could go Arcana. I probably want a crystal ball. I don't have to take it right now, but I will. Alright, as far as these planet cards, I don't think they're super important. Go Arcana, looking for Hermie. Didn't get Hermie, but we got Priestess again, so no Mars, no Earth. Could be Uranus. Maybe 2 pairs meaningful if we have Todd. I think I like that idea. Then I don't take another Celestial pack. Maybe. The last thing we did was Priestess. So Uranus is fine. And then go Celestial pack. Alright, so it could be Mercury, could be Uranus. I think Mercury is safer as a long-term plan. 2 pair is not free. Yeah, let's take Mercury and then go next. So now I'm looking for 2 pair. Could be aces and 7s. Plus 16. Okay. And then we probably want to take the economy tag here, be the boss with 2 hands. Don't need the extra discard, but we can hold on to it, I guess. Could be another Mercury card, I think is fine. Then go 1 more. Alright, Uranus here instead of Jupiter. And then could be a blue seal Jack. That's it. Alright, so the Jack is debuffed by the boss. We throw away the hearts, I guess. I don't want these 10s, I think. The flush doesn't really do anything. So I guess discard the Jack here. No odd cards. Could be a 7, I guess. Could be 7s and 10s as 2 pair, and then throw away a 4. That's not gonna win. Okay, now I could do 7s and 5s. I could also do, if we do the flush, I think the flush is better because it has more odd cards. So let's go get rid of the drunkard and then play the flush. Getting 9s for Todd would be cool. Alright, now we got $100. So this boss says base, chips and malt halved. Don't need a handy tag. Do we want Clever Joker? Maybe. Then we don't have to rely so much on Todd. Maybe that's helpful. Let's do that. Standard pack, I don't need a wild 4. And we can get another Mercury card. Okay, so my pair is almost my 2 pair. The difference is we don't get Todd, we don't get Clever Joker value, which is fine. I can play... throw away the face cards. How about jacks and 5s? Okay, throwing away a 4. Or... that's fine. Expecting this not to win. Oh. Whoops. Guess we could have discarded a little bit more. Could be Supernova now. I guess if we already have the boots, you don't really need Supernova. Though maybe we want that. I guess it's already anti-4, so Supernova is not great. So I guess let's go Jumbo Standard. Could be a gold seal 10 instead of a purple seal 4. I like that idea. As another value generator. Could be a death card for another 9 probably. So I can turn a 4 into a 9. In case we get a blackboard maybe. Supernova or nah? Probably we don't need it. Let's just go next. I might take it later though. Okay. Can I play 2 pair without winning? That's what the question is. Could be 5s and 2s. I think doesn't win, and then I can throw away a 3. Now I'm looking for blue seal and then win with a pair of 10s. Could be play the pair of 9s and then follow up with a pair of 10s. No, I should have played the pair of 10s. Yeah. That's $3 reduce. Alright, could be another death card. And an Arcana pack. So could be Empress on maybe some 5s. Or do we want to do aces? I guess 5s, that's fine. Arcana again. We have Hermie here for 20 bucks, or we can use a death card to get another blue seal. I think I'd rather have the blue seal, so I can turn a 2 into a jack, and then get a death card. Alright, Baron doesn't matter. I think the reroll voucher we probably don't want. If we have the boots, I don't think we're going to be rerolling. So let's go next. Alright, so against this boss, we know 9s and 8s is not going to win. I can throw away the 10. So here's the 2 pair. Okay, I could do kings and queens without winning. Throwing away the jack. And then now I'm looking for odd pairs or just any pair. Could be a pair of 5s. Could be, let's play the pair of 10s. Sure. So I can do another 2 into a blue seal. Play the pair of 10s. And then that's it. Now we win, I guess. Okay, Mercury cards, we don't have to use them right away in case we get a fool. Could be Grimbo, we don't need. Extra hand is useful. Could be skip for pair levels. I think we don't do that since we have the blue seals. Bosses play only one type of hand. So, standard pack first. Red seal 8 could be a red seal 9. Could be kind of fun. I don't think necessary. So, probably we just skip it. Alright, Arcana gives us an Emperor. So in that case, let's use the Mercury cards. And then Emperor. Magician and World. So we already had the Hearts boss. Maybe I turn my blue seals into lucky cards, or maybe I should just turn them into spades, I guess. Give me that extra hand. Let's go next. All right, so I can play a pair of kings, and that's it. Play a pair of kings. I don't have to play a lot of hands, but I might want to play a lot of hands so we can dig. Pair of nines is going to be like 50% more, so 8,000. I can play a pair of threes. I don't think we play the two pair here. Play the pair of threes, and then use my discards. All right. So when I'm discarding, what I'm looking for my gold seal 10. Let's make the spades, I guess. And then lucky 10s, I guess. Do that. Oh, maybe I should have played a high card there. One more time to dig. Oh well. Alright, this clever joker's done. Driver's license is perishable, so we're not going to do that. Celestial pack gives me another Mercury card, and then Arcana gives me more lucky cards, so it could be lucky 10s and could be 9s. We have a lot of 9s. Not a lot of 9s, but some 9s. Alright. Then I could play Gold Seal 10. And I probably do want the odd pairs. So that's 10,000. I can play... could play two pair here. Is about the same because we have Clever Joker. So that's about 11. I could play a pair of 9s. And then finish with some lucky 10s maybe. So... could be lucky jacks. Or sorry, not lucky jacks, but just jacks. I could play the 10 as a solo. And then try to get the blue seal. So this doesn't win. And then play the pair of 10s, I guess. Okay, so no odd cards, only about 9,000, but if we do that 5 times against the boss, should be fine. Alright, and then could be Campfire. Campfire is powerful, and therefore probably worth it even as a rental. Let's go Celestial Pack. Could be Mars. Alright, so we'll take the Campfire. I'm not going to sell Clever Joker yet. I'm not going to sell Neptune yet. If we don't need to. Temperance is $7. Could be Judgment here. Probably we want Judgment plus Temperance. So could be a Chad is good with Todd. And then we take Temperance here and go next. Alright, only one type of hands. So... let's keep 9s and 10s. Okay, play the pair of 9s. Throwing away the king, I guess. Alright, pair of 9s is 24. Okay. If I play the pair of 5s with the Molt card, that wins. I could play a pair of 4s. With no odd cards, so it scores less points. Then I could play... I could play high card as a way of digging. Now we have the blue seals, so let's go high card one more time. I might end up playing a pair of jacks. Or I can play this pair of lucky 10s. Do that. Cool. Alright. $5. on cloud 9. Go next. So it could be a bean as a negative. As a rental, it could be worth it. Boss says no repeat hand types. That's rude. So I guess I will take the bean when we look inside the spectral pack. I don't think I onk here. Ouija is interesting. I'm down. Interessante. So I guess half my deck is jacks now. I guess a third of the deck. I guess. Okay. 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 What's in here? Didn't lose at any nines. Okay. Okay. Go next. So I don't think 4 of a kind. I don't know. I might just keep playing pairs. So let's discard. Let's start there. All right, how about a pair of 10s? No odd cards. Or do we care? Maybe I do care. Play the pair of 10s. Sure. 20,000 for that one? All right, so I can play a pair of 9s. Are we trying to play 4 of a kind here? We could play high card and then dig. Maybe? So that's 2,000. I could play high card king and then dig one more time. So if we play the 4 of a kind, that's decently powerful. We could play 5 of a kind. The bean is not going to last forever. So I guess I just play 4 of a kind. Sure. And then that'll help with the boss. Sure. So that was only 10,000. Okay. All right, could be more lucky cards. Sounds like a great deal. We could go buffoon pack. Do I replace Todd? I think the answer is we can. And probably we should, since we have all of these jacks. So let's do that. And then Onyx Agate, probably not. I could look at standard pack for more 9s or more jacks. We have neither. So no purple, no gold, I think. Let's just go next. Okay. I'm saving the Neptune for the campfire. I'm saving it for an emergency. We don't need it yet. We can start with the lucky 10s. Okay. We can play a pair of 7s. And then follow up with a pair of 2s. How many pairs does it take? So that's 20,000. Let's play the pair of queens. The next hand wins, unless we throw some garbage like high card queen here, doesn't win. And then we can use our discards to find the gold seal and the blue seals, maybe. So there's the gold seal. Do I care spades or hearts? I think I'd rather do hearts. Since we already had the hearts boss. I could play a flush 5. I don't think we should, but we could. Here we want to do these 4 jacks, which means I can discard these 4 jacks. We could do lucky here, lucky here. Now we sell Neptune just because we want to make room for the blue seals. Do something like that. And then the foil card. does a lot of work here. All right, 60,000, not a great score there. That's fine. But now we got the Mars cards. Okay. I think I juice up the campfire to fight this boss. So Mad Joker out, Habsies in, Saturn okay. Standard pack. Don't need a purple queen, I think. We can hang him. Okay. So I'm down on 4s and 2s and 8s and aces. So maybe a 2 and an ace we can hang him? Maybe. Sure. Sell Saturn, sell Habsies, go next. Alright, so now we got the gold sealed jack. We can start with a flush. We know doesn't score very much, but we can start there if we want. We could try to set up something with the lucky cards. Let's play this flush with the jack. We got plenty of jacks. We want to keep the 9s so we can get 2 pair with the 9s. Maybe 9s and 10s is what we're looking for. Okay. I'm looking for, I don't know, something that's not just jacks, right? Could be, how about a pair of jacks with a molt card? Okay. Then we can go high card 10. And that's probably close enough. We can finish with the 4 of a kind jacks. Let's play high card one more time so we can dig. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. With the foil card, we can't lose. All right, so that was something like times 2 on the campfire. We got 100,000. Okay. So now Arrowhead as a perishable, maybe. Boss says no discards. There's another economy tag. I think it's better to not skip. I think it's better to just get the blue seal value. And then, let's see. Banner we can sell to the campfire. Let's do that. Arrowhead is fine. Pick up Honu voucher. Alright. 88 on the boots. Could be Emperor here, could be World. I think Emperor is better because we can also sell to the campfire, or we could just take 10 bucks. There's a Fool, so probably we want Death card. In that case, we said we're low on 4s, right? We're low on 4s, 2s, 8s, and aces, also kings. Maybe turn a 4 into a jack. And then get a death card. All right, boss says no discards. Let's go next. So now we have not infinite time on the bean. I can play a flush with the 10 in front, maybe. Lucky 10. Okay. I might not be able to play too many hands, actually. It looks like. So let's discard. I can play high card queen, which doesn't win. Let's do that. I could discard all of these jacks. I think with the death card, do we want to make another blue seal? Do we want to make another gold seal? Probably we still do more blue seals, probably. Discard all these jacks. So we got one more jack here. I can turn a 10 into a jack. I could try high card 9 and hope it doesn't win. It depends whether or not we get the lucky activation or maybe not. Maybe because the arrowhead, it actually just wins. So maybe we do... do the 4 jacks and ship it. All right, one more round on the bean after this. I think the one hand size is worth one more round. And then we can sell it to the campfire. We used death, so I'm not going to Mars right away. Go Arcana pack first. Could be Hermie, could be you make a glass card. 52 cards in the deck. What's the chance we get the glass card? Not super high. Though we do have an extra hand. I think I just take Hermie. So use the Mars cards. Then Hermie. Alright, Celestial pack. There's another Mars card, is fine. Do I want to feed the campfire here? We could sell the arrowhead. I think I keep the arrowhead. Maybe. Yeah, I think we don't need to feed the campfire, at least not right now. So let's go next. Alright. So I can start with a pair of jacks. I want to be able to find my blue seals. So let's start with a pair with the arrowhead. Okay, I should be able to do... I don't need to do any more of those. We have the blue seal already. Now I'm looking for the gold seal, maybe? Maybe. How deep do we want to go? Maybe that's fine. So if I just do this 4 of a kind, I think we sell the bean now. I could save it and then it gives me something to sell in ante 8. The bean disappears, so never mind. We gotta sell it now. All right, there's a 4 of a kind. Okay. And then use all the Mars cards. Okay. Vagabond, we can't do with the boot. Can't do the flower pot. Maybe we could do the flower pot. We got a bunch of wild cards for some reason. Could be get rid of Cloud 9, take the flower pot. Is that what we want to do? I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we could make it work. So Cloud 9 out, Vagabond in. Maybe I didn't really need the arrowhead. Maybe I could have sold the arrowhead. Celestial pack. V-Nets? No, but I might take a Mercury card against this boss if we can't use our discards. I don't need this foil too. I probably shouldn't have looked. Let's go next. Alright. The 4 jacks wins, presumably. So let's try to get the blue seals, maybe. I could play a high card a couple times. Not too many times. We got 1 blue seal. Okay. There's a 9. Does this 9 win? Probably not. Though I could move the campfire and then guarantee that it doesn't win. Alright. Here's 4 jacks with a gold seal. Yas. I forgot that we took -1 hand size. Bummer. Oh well. Alright, this boss doesn't matter. We could do a double skip and then get like 30% more money. 30% more money would be 30% more points. Or we could just do a couple more shops and then get more planet cards for the 4 of a kind. More potentially campfire value. I think we want the campfire value. So Mega Celestial, there's another Mars card. Okay, then Arcana. So could be Priestess, we sell 2 cards. Could be turn a 10 into a Jack. Could be make a glass Jack. Probably the safe thing to do is just make more Jacks. And then against the boss you can play 4 of a kind twice, maybe even. Though using Priestess for the campfire is probably meaningful also. I think I have enough Jacks already. I don't need to make more Jacks. So, Priestess here. And then I want the Cartomancer. That'll give me something to sell for the campfire. Could be an Empress we can sell. Alright. And then we can play High Card Jack. Okay. Blue Seal in hand. I could play these Jacks as 4 of a kind. And then with the ×2 from the campfire, now almost ×3. Okay. Oh, the Mars cards from the previous ante I should have sold. Anyway, here's a Fortune Teller we don't need. I can go Arcana in case we get an Emperor. No Emperor, but we get Judgment. Once again, could make another glass card. Let's go sell free reroll. I guess I could get rid of the Chad. What is the Chad doing for us? The Chad is doing the Gold Seal and then the Lucky cards. Probably worth it to sell the Chad. We're gonna sell something against the boss anyway. So let's go Chad, and then Satellite we can sell. There's Hermie. Okay, what's in here? Could be, we can light them up. Could be Ectoplasm. I think we just light them up. We lose Jacks, but that's probably fine. Alright. Since we have the campfire, it's probably worth it to reroll a little bit. We could take a Cloud 9. And then go one more. Extra discard I like. So extra discard, and then that's it, go next. I don't want to spend too much, but maybe we can afford to spend because we have the blue seals. Anyway, let's look for not that many blue seals left, but let's look. We drew 2. That's probably good enough. I have 12 Jacks left on the deck. Do I want to discard a little bit more aggressively? Probably we can afford to. Alright, and then I could play a pair of Jacks. I could play 3 Jacks. Maybe. 25 cards in the deck. Yeah, let's play 3 Jacks. Alright. These are good Jacks. So try one more time for the blue seal. We'll play the hands because it doesn't cost me very much to play the hands. Alright. There's my 4 of a kind. Okay. So Mars cards we can sell now for the campfire. Polychrome we don't need. Maybe. Alright. We did the free reroll. We can sell. Go one more. There's a Riffraff is kind of interesting. We can't sell it, but we could buy it. We could take Riffraff and then we can generate 2 cards to sell. That's kind of interesting. Matador actually gives us money against the boss is kind of interesting. We definitely don't need to keep going. $8 here. All right. I think something like that's good. Chariot, that's good. RIP, splash. All right, go next. So, could be rebate on jacks. Okay. So here's some jacks we could rebate. Okay. I could play a pair of threes maybe. Okay. Here's some jacks I can rebate. Maybe. And then I can play 2 pair. Okay. I can play a pair of 7s. What am I looking for? So I have those. I can play the pair of 7s. There we go. We got the Jack of Hearts. We could play high card king. Sell the rebate. Or the campfire. So this jack you want to turn into steel. Could be 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. With the flower pot. 142 on the boots. 8-2 on the campfire. Ship it. Would you look at that? Ouija's not good. Let me tell you that right now. Let's see here. Where is it? Spectrals, where is it? Ouija. Okay, -1 hand size. Why would you take Ouija? Like, what is the end goal? If I convert a bunch of stuff into the same rank, what am I trying to do? Maybe I'm trying to play 4 of a kind. Maybe I'm trying to play 5 of a kind. Having -1 hand size makes it harder to get the 4 of a kind or the 5 of a kind or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So even if you have more copies of the card, even if you have more of the same rank, then it's counterbalanced by this -1 hand size effect. Overall, it is easier to get 4 of a kind after you use Ouija. You get more jacks, and then also you have the -1 hand size. Overall, it comes out it's a net positive, technically. But it's not that much positive for you. It's a pretty bad deal. Also, I think it's a little bit disappointing that the ectoplasm -1 hand size, I think, makes a lot of sense for ectoplasm, where Joker slots are premium. That is like the thing around the rest of the game is balanced around having a limited number of Joker slots. So getting more Joker slots at the cost of increasing amounts of hand size to the point where you end up with having no hand size. I think that's a cool trade-off. I think ectoplasm is great balance-wise. To have Ouija have the same drawback, the -1 hand size, is a little bit lame. I would like to see Ouija, maybe it doesn't convert all the cards, or maybe it does. Maybe it just does something else. Maybe it's 5 random cards in your hand are converted to the same rank, or something like that. Or converts the cards to, even if it didn't have the -1 hand size, sometimes the random ranks are not necessarily useful to you, and so maybe it'd be interesting if it was convert all the cards to one of the ranks that's already in your hand. So like Death copies a card, this would copy a rank that you already have. All of the cards become the same rank as one of the cards that you've already drawn. So then ultimately only 7 cards are changed because the one stays the same, or something like that. There's a lot of other different things that this could be, and it's a little bit disappointing. But if you have the bean and the bean gives you +5 hand size, or if you're playing on painted deck and you have the extra hand size anyway, then it can be a fine thing to do. Even if you do convert everything to the same rank and you do enable yourself to play the 4 of a kind, that doesn't necessarily mean that the 4 of a kind is going to be rewarding. So you could get an early spectral pack, you could get a late spectral pack. If it's later on in the run, then you don't want to use Ouija because you are already committed to doing something else. If it's early on in the run, maybe that could be you take Ouija and it becomes run defining. That's how you start the run. Maybe that could be interesting. Here we got it early enough and we also had the blue seals. So the blue seals did enable us to make this very hard pivot into the 4 of a kind, which is neat, I guess. Though maybe getting 600 chips and 60 molt from just playing the 4 of a kind and not having to care too much about the jokers is a little bit powerful. But the main lesson is when you're playing on the checkered deck, because you have this head start, you have spades and hearts, and you can play flushes so easily, you don't need a lot of purchases in the first couple shops. So you can be very picky about what it is that you're trying to get. And then any money that you save is going to start snowballing. And when you skip, you miss out on that snowballing. Or every time you skip, the end is 1 round closer. You are that much closer to the round, or the final boss, right? If you skip this round, then you immediately have to fight this round. And the scoring requirements go up 50%. And so think of it as every time you skip, the score goes up 50% forever. Immediately and forever, the scores are now 50% higher. Is whatever skip I get worth 50% more points? Sometimes yes, most of the time no. It's kind of like if you go from 4 hands to 6 hands, that's 50% upgrade. So imagine if you skip, it's kind of like losing a hand if all of the scoring requirements are higher. Kinda. The skips that I think are most worth it are going to be the skips that give you money, and not necessarily every time. So here, you know, in the end game, economy tag is going to give you 40 bucks. It may not be worth it for 40 bucks in ante 6 or 7, depending on if you've got some other stuff going on, some other value generation. Consider blue seals as value generation, gold seals, lucky cards, gold cards, jokers that are giving you money and generating value and stuff like that. But also just seeing a shop is worth something, right? If you would pay money to re-roll, if you'd be willing to pay that money, then you would also be willing to pay money to refresh the booster packs and stuff like that. So just being able to see new booster packs, that's worth something. It's unclear exactly how much that's worth, if you would be willing to pay $3 to see 2 new booster packs or pay $13 to see 2 new booster packs, but it's worth something. And that's worth considering when you're trying to figure out whether to skip or not. Anyway, take care everyone.